I found a letter my wife wrote to her future husband when she was 15, and I don't match a single thing on the list. We were packing up the house for our move. My wife was in the closet excavating boxes she hadn't opened since before we met, and she made a sound, that specific oh my god sound, and came out holding a shoebox from her teenage years. Inside, buried under friendship bracelets and dried out gel pens, was a sealed envelope. The front said, in 15-year-old bubble handwriting with a heart over the I, to my future husband, open on our 5th anniversary. We've been married 6 years. She'd completely forgotten it existed. It missed its own deadline by a full year, sitting sealed in a closet, waiting. She sat down on the floor and started peeling it open, already giggling. Oh, this is going to be so embarrassing. It was, but not for her, for me. She cleared her throat and read the first line out loud. Dear future husband, I know you're tall. I'm 5 feet 8 inches. I want to be clear. That's not short. That's a normal, respectable, medically fine height. But it is not the height a 15-year-old girl is imagining when she writes the word tall with that much confidence. She wasn't picturing 5 feet 8 inches. She was picturing a man who has to duck through doorways. I do not duck through doorways. Doorways and I have an easy relationship. She kept going, laughing harder. You probably have dark hair and green eyes. I am blonde. I have blue eyes. I am not the mysterious dark-haired stranger of her adolescent fantasies. I am a man who sunburns walking to the mailbox. I once got a burn from sitting near a window. In terms of coloring, I am the photographic negative of everything she wrote down. You play at least one instrument, probably guitar. I play nothing. 0 instruments. My entire musical history is one attempt at a harmonica at a party in 2016, during which a stranger physically approached me and asked me to stop. That's it. That's the whole resume. You're probably really athletic. You play sports on the weekends. I watch sports on the weekends. From the couch, in sweatpants that I would describe as load-bearing, with a bowl of chips balanced on my chest. The most athletic thing I do all weekend is stand up during commercials to get more chips, and even that I've been trying to phase out by keeping the bag closer. You have a cool job, like a pilot or an architect or a detective. I work in IT. I fix computers. Last week I spent 3 hours on a call helping a coworker locate the power button on her monitor. It was on the bottom. I am not a pilot. I am not an architect. I am, at absolute best, a detective in the sense that I once determined a printer was not plugged in. That's the closest I get to solving mysteries. Then she got to the big one. You probably surprised me with the most romantic proposal ever. Like on top of a mountain, or in Paris. I proposed in our apartment. On a Tuesday. She was in flannel pajamas eating cereal. I didn't even do it right. I went to get down on one knee and our cat was sitting on the exact spot, so I sort of hovered awkwardly in a half crouch next to a confused animal while asking the most important question of my life. She said yes with a mouthful of Cheerios. There was milk involved. It was not Paris. It was not a mountain. It was a man crouching next to a cat while his girlfriend chewed. She's reading all this and howling, and I'm sitting there quietly doing the math. Tall? No. Dark hair? No. Green eyes? No. Plays an instrument? No. Athletic? No. Cool job? No. Romantic mountain proposal? The cat was there. 0. I matched 0. I am 0 for 8 on my wife's childhood dream husband. She wrote a detailed specification for the man she'd marry, and then she married the exact opposite of it in every single measurable category. If that list were a job application, I would not have gotten an interview. I wouldn't have made it past the resume screen. And here's where I want to be honest about the thing that actually got to me, because it's funnier on the surface than it felt underneath. Sitting there, 0 for 8, some small dumb part of me went quiet. Because a list is a list, but a list is also a window into what someone once thought they wanted. And I'm human. For about 10 seconds I sat on that closet floor and thought she dreamed of a tall, dark, green-eyed, guitar-playing athlete detective who'd propose on a mountain, and she ended up with a sunburned IT guy who crouched next to a cat. Did she settle? Is this letter a receipt for a compromise she made? I think she saw it on my face, because she stopped laughing. She folded the letter, looked at me, and said, I was so wrong about everything. I said, kind of flatly, thanks, great. And she said, no, listen, I don't mean it like that. I mean, I didn't know what I actually needed when I was 15. I wrote down a movie character, a checklist of traits I thought equaled a good husband because I'd seen them in movies. Tall, mysterious, plays guitar, has a dangerous job. None of that is a person. That's a poster. I married a real person. I didn't marry the list because the list was never real. You're the part I couldn't have known to write down. Then, after a beat, she grinned and added, but you could still learn guitar. I'm not learning guitar. Let me be clear. That harmonica incident scarred me, and I will not be returning to the world of music. But here's the thing I did do, and I didn't mean for her to see it. Later that night, after the boxes were taped up, I walked past the spot in the living room where I proposed, and the cat was sitting on it again. Same cat, 6 years older, same spot, like she owns the deed to it. And I nudged